It's Thursday, September the 3rd. Lake level's about the same as it was last week. It's right at 916. They do have a little bit of generation going. We had quite a bit of rain last few days. Lakes stay in a consistent level, but they must be dumping beaver some, and what the rain brought on us just kind of flowing through. But water temperature's still right around 80 degrees. I didn't get to fish much this past weekend. I was out of town fishing somewhere else. But they had the Ozark Mountain Team Trail tournament. They had like 100 boats in it. And I did get to fish the first of the week, and it's been really good. I mean, a lot of the fish have moved up real shallow. And I got to watch, you know, if you get a chance, if you want to find out how the fishermen caught them in that OMTT, you can go to Ozark Mountain Team Trail Facebook, and they've got a video there of the whole weigh-in. So they're interviewing the guys as they're weighing them in. Everybody's telling how they caught their fish and what areas of the lake. It's pretty good information to have. But the majority of the guys caught their fish real shallow. And that's how I caught them the first of the week as well. And what was impressive is for 100 boats, and it was just a 4-fish limit, but it took a 3-pound average to finish up in the top 25. So the quality of fish is really good right now. Seems like there's a lot of largemouths and smallmouths up shallow. I mean 2 to 10, 2 to 12 feet. And if you do have to fish deep, I haven't been having to fish much deeper than 20 foot unless I'm out there messing around with, you know, with a drop shot rig. And most of the time on a drop shot rig, I'm fishing brush piles and 30 to 35 feet of water. But there's not the size. You know, you might catch a few more fish out there deep, but you're not going to catch the size that you can if you're up on the bank. And it seems like when I was out the first of this week, a lot of the gravel points and pockets, a lot like kind of like the springtime, a lot of the same type areas where you'd be looking for pre-spawn fish, rock transitions where it goes from gravel to chunk just inside the points. And I've been throwing a fairly big jig. You know, a lot of times when they're up there that shallow, you'd think you need to be throwing a little 5/16 or 3/8 jig, but we've been throwing a 1/2 ounce, even a 5/8 jig, setting the boat about 15, 20 foot of water, but, you know, keying on that 2 to 10, 2 to 12 foot range. And it seems like a bulky jig is working better. You know, instead of a little finesse style, I'm using big trailers. A lot of just kind of natural green pumpkin, watermelons, green pumpkin orange are working well, but I'm using like a full-size speed craw or a Strike King big rage craw. It seems like the fish are wanting a bigger profile bait, and I don't seem like I got to fish it real slow. Just got to keep the bait on the bottom and keep it working. And in some of them same areas, I've been able to catch some whopper plopper fish. And if you watch the results from the weigh-in, you'll hear probably half the guys caught them on top water, you know, whopper ploppers, buzz baits. The other half seemed like they caught them on jigs, and there was even some wigglewort and rock crawler fish caught. But I think a lot of them fish in them same areas where I'm talking about throwing a jig, if there's 2 of you out there, one of you can be throwing a whopper plopper. I think they're probably the same fish a guy's catching, whether he's catching them on a jig or a whopper plopper. Some days, just depends on the mood of the fish, they'll probably come up for that top water. Other days they want that jig presented to them, you know, down there on the bottom. But, you know, for the most part, I'm seeing a lot of little bait, little fry back there, and there's still a lot of them black perch. And, you know, I did this in different areas of the lake, you know, the mid-lake area, which is like Baxter to Indian Point. I think there's a good bite up in the James River. But the mid-lake area has as good a color as anywhere on the lake. You know, Kimbling City's got about 2.5, 3 foot of visibility. And it's actually even got good stain down there by the dam. The upper rivers, now they may have changed a little bit in the last couple days because of the rain, but whether you're in the upper Kings or the upper James, that water up there to me was clearer than it was in the Kimbling City area. So I think there's a good bite in the mid-lake area, and the quality of smallmouth is, you know, we caught several in the 3.5 pound range the first couple days of the week. And like I say, they're up there real shallow. If you can find brush and 10 to 12 feet, you know, make sure you fish it real thoroughly. And the good thing about them jig fish on the gravel, it seems like if you find one, you'll get several bites in the same area. So, you know, I want everybody to be safe out there this weekend. It's probably the last big weekend. And then we kind of the fishermen should get the lake back. A lot of the recreation boats will be starting to put them up for the summer. But till next week, good luck, good fishing.